goes the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Fielded at the 43. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
As we roll on here in the month of December, Week 14 coming up tonight, we got a good one in the AFC West. Get the Parkas out, Kansas City and Denver from the frigid Empower Stadium at Mile High. And then tomorrow night you can turn those Parkas in for some shorts, golf polos, and flip-flops. Monday Night Football in Arizona. Patriots, Cardinals, 8:15 Eastern. Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face, because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Now on 2nd and 13. Prescott over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Inside give to Elliott. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And despite injuries like these, Charles, with these guys missing, they've been able to keep that pursuit of perfection alive so far.
That just shows the depth that they have on the roster and the guys who are serious about being ready when their number is called. Someone goes down, someone jumps in, and they don't skip a beat. I think this team has a bunch of those guys, and some of them will be called on again this week.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 17-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the 1st half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Up the middle, here's Elliott. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal.
Off the play fake, Prescott.
A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, that's going to bring up a big call now because he's unable to make the play himself on 2nd down. Now you just have to wonder, will they keep the ball in his hands on 3rd down?
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Now Prescott. And his ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
So 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and they're a PAT from going up 21-3.
And there's no doubt in my mind, you're liking what you're seeing so far, aren't you?
They're unbelievable. Like a well-oiled machine, if you will.
What's really tough, though, that defense, they're leaping the shadows at this point. They don't know which way to go. They're being hit in every direction, and they have no answers thus far.
Rosas now to add the PAT. And it's 21-3. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Houston set to take over. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is Gordon as they go to him again.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
And certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. 3rd and short yardage, Mills.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Neville Gallimore
able to record his 5th sack of the season.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. And taken right at the 35. Just a 30-yard punt that time.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Prescott.
They'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And some room to work. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31.
And the Cowboys are able to widen their lead here in this 1st half.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And a rout is on here in this 1st half. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Now Gordon on first down. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. To throw, Mills, and that is incomplete.
Martin, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now.
He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 42.
A first down throw for Mills.
Connects here with a tight end, Blake Jarwin.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Now a handoff. This is Gordon going left. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down.
Here's Mills. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Mills to the sideline, and out now is Kaimi Fairbairn for the Houston field goal try.
He hit his first, this one from 38. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. from the 35 on second down. Prescott, that's Elliott, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
The give is to Elliott. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
Jalen Petrie coming up to bring him down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night 38-24 to the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl way back on December 2nd of '85. But then they'd never lose again en route to winning Super Bowl 20.
And when you look back on it, partner, didn't it almost feel like a setup game? Because they were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were protecting their franchise's undefeated season of 1972, that team. And you know what that team does. They love to celebrate the fact that they still are the only one to get through an entire NFL season that way. That was Dan Marino's 3rd year, playing under the great Don Shula, and they were motivated to keep that franchise's record intact.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
That's interference. Defense.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know, roll your eyes and rightfully.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Prescott now. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Throwing, Prescott. He completes it to Jones.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Prescott on first down. He'll find Jones again, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. To throw is Prescott.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Desmond King picks it.
And the Texans are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
There's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. How you like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you?
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On second down, Gordon once more.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get this started up in Orchard Park, an AFC's matchup with the Jets in town to take on Buffalo. And it's the Bills with the lead in the second quarter. Josh Allen has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Deshaun Watson has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Jamison Williams, a touchdown reception. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for the Texans. And not much went right in those first two quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach. Thank you. As we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half.
Taken at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Bill's throw caught by Sanders.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. And this hasn't been the typical game, no doubt, for Emmanuel Sanders. They've really limited him.
He's one of those players that provides a real spark when he gets going, and when he doesn't, it's felt by the rest of the team, and they're feeling it in this one because right now they're trailing.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Mills now. He gets this one to Mechie.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Now Mills.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Osa Odighizuwa breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes.
So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here's Prescott.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Desmond King picks it.
And the Texans are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Mills now from the 50.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The veteran Joe Schobert getting to him behind the line of scrimmage. Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, Can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
3rd and long for Mills. And that is incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 132 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And the Texans are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, It has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From the 39, Mills. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Osa Odighizuwa picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long.
They'll set up to throw. He sets to fire deep. And that's caught inside the 35.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or 2, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. And he is going to lose yardage here. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. In this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
On 2nd down, Gordon once more.
And for a 2nd straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Throwing, Mills.
And this is going to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
From the 6. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
And now here come the Cowboys. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
151 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Prescott.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Just to pick up a 3, but that is indeed enough. This offense, #1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and the run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Elliott. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 38. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Again, it's Elliott. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
Elliott.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. They'll try again with Elliott.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Prescott.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there, as that's batted down and incomplete.
So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Cowboys' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
So 4th and goal, their head coach gave that offensive line one more chance to punch it in, and this time they were successful.
They certainly paid off the coach's confidence, didn't they? And how about the fact that they stayed with the ground game? Because a lot of times in that situation, partner, we see teams try and roll the quarterback out, give him a little run-pass option, and treat it like a 2-point conversion play. In this case, they went with a little bit more power and got it done.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Looking to throw is Mills. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. 3rd and 7 now. Mills. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. 35 yards that time on the punt. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Now those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, and Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
Inside give to Elliott. And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier, now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. But you say 3 rushing touchdowns, and of course throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
Roses to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
On second down, Gordon once more.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in... And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Mills now looks to throw on first down.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Mills got a man. It's Collins complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Mills from the gun on third down.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lost one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
He's going to try and go deep again. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? You want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Up the middle. Here's Elliott. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They go to Elliott again. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. The offense on third down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Again to Elliott. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Ezekiel Elliott not able to get it past the marker. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Mills. And his throw here is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw, Mills. And that will be incomplete as well.
How about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Mills, 4th down, gotta have it.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And it'll be a turnover on downs. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
They find some open field here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
Well, you don't become a two-time rushing champion in this league without being able to shed some tackles, and Ezekiel Elliott does just that on this latest run.
Yeah, this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground, and here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did. The poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
Now Elliott. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his.
So the watch is officially on now. That ties him with Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander for second place all-time on the single-season list of rushing touchdowns.
And partner, he now just sits one behind LaDainian Tomlinson's record of 28. We know LT's watching. We know he'd hate to lose his record, but we also understand he has great admiration for what this man's done, and he would be a worthy successor to the crown. LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the great players, one of the great people in the NFL.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback.
The Texans back out there and ready to go. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans.
At their 25-yard line.
From the gun, he'll set up to throw.
And that's complete to Cooks. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10.
A first down throw for Mills.
Outright completes it to Jarwin.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Here's Mills.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10.
Mills now.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
Following the play here, now we've got an injury. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up second and 10.
Now Mills.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
This offense was on the move. Now two straight incompletions have them looking at third and 10.
Open man is Mechie, and he's got him.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 19. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
So here's a first and 10 now down inside the 20.
Now a 20th carry, number 20 here for Melvin Gordon. And the big boys up front, they're going to to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Mills to throw it.
And this is going to be incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
On third down, this is Melvin Gordon.
And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16.
Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Mills to the sideline, and out now is Kaimi Fairbairn for the Houston field goal try.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Prescott to throw it. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A Cowboy first down there. Prescott to Gallup.
There's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
And he's got room. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. The give is to Elliott.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
A first down carry by Elliott. And a short gain here down to the 22. Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson. Elliott running right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
First down, Prescott. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Ferguson. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
2nd and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring.
Elliott. Yeah, he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge.
And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas.
Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon.
And the Cowboys add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. So definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown passes. They're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
Rosas now to add the PAT.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
And now out comes Houston.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Houston. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down.
They'll run with Elliott, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Houston set to take over.
They're just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A 2nd down throw from Mills.
Forced out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the side.
Well, the lopsided affair finally coming to an end, and really no shortage of big plays for us to examine, partner, on offense or on defense for this team. They were so well-rounded in this one.
They certainly were, and how about the day those defenders had, though? How many takeaways did they have? I quit counting after a while. They were clearly the better team, and their defensive effort, it led the way.
So for Dallas, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Houston, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs.